I think so.
It says
We're live. Woo! We did it.
I think now we're live. The lights just came up.
Yeah, we're
it's like
live.
the curtain raising.
All right, guys. Hola.
Hola.
How many ways can we say that? Bonjour, though. Yes. Percendatia. How many? Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Oh, yeah, you got to say it like the French do.
Bonjour.
The French sing. We love listening to the French people speak.
Yes, it's very, very pretty.
Especially the little kids. They're so cute.
I think little kids speaking in any language is adorable.
It is pretty cute.
All right, JP, you got to blow up the chat so I can see it.
Okay. Well, do we want to start with our list of stuff first?
Probably.
Where was that?
Yes.
I lost it already. Okay, so
Yes.
8 months, right? You're going to take it away.
We
Take it
probably
away.
should give people a couple minutes to join in. We started a minute early.
Paul's in Thailand. That's cool.
Ooh, cool. I know. And hey, Carol, nice to always see Cuenca represented.
Yep. And then we already have a question about the most expensive place that we spent.
In a rental place for a month. I'll have to think about that one. I don't know yet.
Well, for
Denver.
A month. Yeah, Denver.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. See, Kate from Michigan. Hola, Kate. Hello.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Corpus Christi. We got all people from all over the place.
Yep. Evening is going well so far.
In Phoenix. Ooh, it's hot there.
It rained here all day. It's cool and rainy.
Yeah, the weather's been interesting, but it's dark at like 10:30 at night still, which we're really having a hard time adapting to in a good way.
I know. We go to bed and it's light, and we wake up in the morning and it's already light. It gets light at like 5:15, 5:30 in the morning, and it gets dark at like 10 something. It's amazing. We went from short days where we had no sun. It got dark at 4:20 in Greece, remember?
Yes, I do.
And
that
then
was a bit brutal.
When we were in Greece, it was dark before we ate dinner, and then now it's light for our entire waking hours.
Yes.
San Francisco represent, Los Angeles, Denver,
Montana.
Wow, Southern Cal.
Houston via Mexico.
Mike from Houghton, Michigan. Sarasota, from Michigan? Kentucky. Now in Cotacachi. Sweet.
Oh, very
Kevin.
cool.
Hola, Kevin. How's your Spanish coming? Flagstaff, Arizona. A couple from Arizona.
Love it.
Wow. In Thailand. So we've got all the hemispheres covered.
Very nice.
That's awesome. Is that right? Hemispheres? Yeah, that's right. Yes, we miss Ecuador, Henry, a lot.
We do. We talk about that a lot.
I talk about it every day, especially Cuenca. I really miss Cuenca. Miss our friends.
Yep.
I have my iPhone. The pictures come up on my iPhone, and most of them are the sunsets that we saw in Manta and Olón. And every time I look at my phone, I miss those sunsets.
Okay, so we've been live for 3 minutes, so we can go ahead and start with our announcements.
The updates.
Yes, our updates, because we haven't done one of these for like 9 months, I think.
Yeah, so the last live stream we did was 1 week before Daisy died. Yeah. And it was a rough week, very rough week. And I don't know, I just haven't felt like doing one since then because of her mainly.
Brings back the memories.
Yeah, it does. Because I remember we talked about it on that live stream, and I knew she was on her way out, and it was a week later. That was it.
Yeah.
We still miss her so horribly.
Of course we do. Absolutely. It's been rough. And we miss having a pet while we're traveling, but it would be too difficult for us to try to do this with a dog or a cat.
It would. Yeah, it's hard to do the puppy passports and stuff. Although people do it and people travel with their dogs, it would be difficult, especially with YouTubing and trying to carry our gear and everything.
Yes, we have our hands full.
Yeah, we do. So we left Ecuador October 12th. We went to the United States, spent 10 days with our family. Then we left there on October 21st.
Yes.
And went to Porto, Portugal. So since then we've been traveling for almost 8 months.
Yeah, it's hard to believe this time is flying by.
It is crazy. I just can't believe we're doing this. We feel so privileged and thankful and fortunate that we're able to do this full-time world travel.
Yeah.
It's way more fun than I imagined it would be. There's obviously challenges to it, moving around all the time and finding Airbnbs. We spend way too much time looking for places to stay.
Well, and we move around a little bit more than I think the average person would, but we want to try to see all of these places so we could share it all with you. And some of these places are the once in a lifetime places, like going to Rome. that
in
Paris that we just had to make work.
Yeah.
So
I know
it's
like
amazing.
we had no plans to go to Paris,
No.
but because we got those cheap tickets from Montenegro, we're like, oh, we might as well. It's always been a dream to see it. And it's funny, like that video is nobody's watching that video for whatever reason. And it's funny, a lot of the comments like, I've already been there. I don't need to see it again. I'm like, well, now we've been there too. And we really enjoyed it too. It was a lot of fun.
Now we know why it's so popular. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now we know why Paris is like the #1 place to go visit, I think.
Yeah.
Man, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was so beautiful.
Loved it. So we started in Portugal, then we went to Spain, Italy, Greece, well, Athens, and we went to Rome.
Yeah.
So we can't really say Italy.
Really
we went to
Italy.
Rome and then Athens, and we spent over 2.5 months, almost 3 months in Albania, then a month in Montenegro, and now we're in France still.
Yep.
We've been here for 6 weeks.
I thought 5 weeks.
No, we were in Paris for 2.5. We've been here a month.
Wow. Time is flying by, like I said.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We've been here for 6 weeks.
Yep. So we'll be moving on again here pretty soon.
Yep. Yep, we will be. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And we're taking, a lot of people forget, they watch our YouTube videos and they think we're just like regular expats, but we're also YouTubers and we need fresh content for our YouTube videos. And so we're treating these like exploratory trips so that you guys can see what it's like to live in these places, how much it costs, and to help you narrow down your list for places that you might want to go. And we've done several affordable places. Portugal and Spain were very affordable. So was Albania. Montenegro was not nearly as affordable as we expected it to be, although parts of it were more than where we stayed.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise.
France, Paris, not affordable, but other parts of France are, and we're excited to share those with you in upcoming videos because it's not all really expensive here. And there's a lot of things that are really affordable, including healthcare and groceries.
Yes.
So, big things, plus public transportation is great. So you don't need a car. I mean, we love that.
We do.
So, but we are our budget's way out of whack now.
Yeah.
Because of Paris and Montenegro,
and Rome too.
And Rome.
Yeah.
So we're going to be heading back into the more affordable countries in the Balkans. We have 2 more countries that we want to visit in the Balkans that are high on everyone's list that are very affordable. And I think we may go back to Albania.
Yes, I miss Albania too. That became our second home.
And then we're going to be heading to Southeast Asia, and that we're going to be there for a while.
Yeah, we're planning on visiting a lot of countries and spending the winter there. Since we already are taking the time to get all the way over there, it makes sense to stay for a while.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
We're going to be hitting all of the countries that you guys have been asking for, the affordable countries. We've added Vietnam back to the list.
Yep.
Because they do have a 90-day tourist visa that you can do visa runs. It's not an ideal long-term residency situation in our minds, but a lot of people do it. And so same with the Philippines. You can get residency there, but you can also just do visa runs.
Yeah, so we're going to go and scope that out for ourselves. And I guess now after doing the slow travel, it's like, okay, well, maybe kind of get used to that as we've gotten used to slow travel, because I was really apprehensive to not have a true home base. But I have completely adapted. So
it is weird.
It is.
It's weird to be living out of a suitcase kind of permanently now.
But I don't really think about it. And also, it's not like we're going to live like this for the rest of our lives. We're going to go out and travel. And then at some point, we'll be back in Ecuador. And then we're going to find another place to have another residency. That was the plan.
Yeah, that is the plan. Or two more.
2 more, yes.
So we'd like to have 3 residencies. Plus, we have no plans to renounce our U.S. citizenship. No. But I mean, I don't see that ever happening, especially as long as our parents are still with us.
Exactly. Yeah. We want to be able to go back home easily.
Yep. So, all right. So is that the update? Oh, we do our Live Abroad program. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, it is still on sale for 50% off. And if you're planning on moving abroad, it will help you. Our goal with it was to make the process faster, easier, cheaper, and less stressful for you. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. I'll put a link in here. You can talk, Amelia.
Okay, I will be talking while JP is typing. Yeah, so the whole goal is to cover a lot of different countries because we started in Ecuador, but obviously not everybody wants to live in Ecuador. And we want to be able to help you guys out around the world and so the more we learn, the more we're going to continue to add to it as well. So it is always going to be evolving.
Yeah, we're going to start adding in our in-depth pros and cons videos for each of the countries that we visit into the program. Those would not do well on YouTube because they're going to be very niche, very specific, deep dive videos. And we found that those just don't get a lot of views for us on YouTube. So they will go into our Live Abroad program. And we'll continue to do the types of videos that, well, not so much the Paris and Montenegro videos. Those videos took us
it took too long.
10 to 12 days. I think Paris took 10 days. I think Montenegro took 12 days. We can't do 2 videos a month. We need to try to do a video a week. And it takes too long to film. I mean, we research, we go out and film, then we edit, publish, promote. The whole process cannot take more than a week. So otherwise we don't have a video out for every week, which is one reason why we don't have one this week.
Exactly.
So we would like to get back to that, to where we're publishing every week.
Yes. And we want to be more connected with you guys too. So hopefully we'll be a little bit better about doing our live streams.
Yes. We'd like to do more of these still.
Absolutely. Okay, good.
Okay. I blew up the window for you, Amelia,
you.
so you can,
now it's time. Because it was like way over on the other side of the screen and
time for us to get
font.
And thank you, Henry, much appreciated.
Yes, thanks, Henry.
Poland, will we be exploring Poland soon? Probably not soon.
It's definitely a place where I would love to go. My family went there. My sister and my niece went there last August, and they absolutely loved it. But I don't know if we'll make it before we end up going to Southeast Asia, and I do not want to go during the winter.
Yeah, because after Southeast Asia, then we're going to head back to the Americas, and we're going to explore north to south and make all the way down to Chile and Argentina.
Yes.
So that will be next year's agenda. Will be we want to explore as much of Central and South America as possible next year.
Hey, Mark's in Hawaii. Well, you're traveling all over the place too. Glad you can join us.
Thank you, Carol.
Oh, thanks,
She
Carol.
said our Live Abroad program is a great value. Much appreciated. Let's see. All right. So sorry, guys, if you asked a question earlier while we were talking and doing our update, please ask it again. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. I think somebody said that if you renounce your citizenship, you lose your Social Security. I thought you still were able to keep that.
I think you can still keep it.
We haven't really checked into it.
At least for now, they may remove that. They're talking about nixing that for people who renounce, but who knows? I don't know for sure if there are criteria. You need to check for that. Let's see. I'm worried about being taxed on my retirement account in the U.S. Other than that, we were looking at Ecuador very seriously. We went to Cuenca in 2018. Cool. We love Cuenca. We still love Cuenca. Yeah. A lot of members in our community and our Live Abroad program and on Patreon are in Cuenca. They love it. They say that they don't feel like anything has changed. They call it the Cuenca bubble. But I think that there's more to it than just Cuenca, because we also have friends and know people in Cumbaya and Vilcabamba, Loja, Cotacachi, and they all say the same thing, that they just don't really notice a difference. Most of the issues that make international news are on the coast. Yeah, and in very specific areas, and like Duran's in the news. Well, it used to be a lot more, which is outside of Guayaquil. So you don't want to go there. Yeah. Okay. Curtis said that you're right. You lose it, at least for now. Yeah. The exit tax. Well, the exit tax, I just looked this up today. In fact, only applies if you have $2 million in assets or more. And there is a deduction of like $800,000 on that. And then you make an average of $190,000 as an individual over the last 5 years. So if you don't meet either of those, so if you make less than 190 as an average for the past 5 years, or you have less than 2 million in assets, you don't have to pay the exit tax. So if you're planning on inheriting money, you might want to renounce, or making a lot of money, you might want to renounce before you do that. Otherwise, it's expensive. It could be at least 20%. Yes. And who said, expat will moving to Germany next spring. Germany, I really want to go there too, but not in the winter. No, not. You're going to have to check in with us and tell us what your winter in Germany is like. Although maybe you live in the winter now, so you're used to it.
And oh yeah, we should say, yes, we would like to go to Brazil. We forgot to
Yes.
mention Brazil.
Yeah, we definitely would like to go to Brazil. And that may happen after we go to work our way around the Horn.
Yeah.
And Argentina, Uruguay, and maybe Brazil. I want to go to Paraguay too.
Yeah, I feel like if we head all the way down there, we need to
Go to all
and
of
visit
them.
those countries.
Let's see, with the war next door. Well, I mean, that's kind of relative. That would be like, I don't know, how far away is that from here? It's a long ways from France, even from Albania and Montenegro. It's kind of a long ways.
It's not something that I mean, it's certainly a concern and it's horrible, but it's not something that we think about on a regular basis. But we keep an eye on things. If something really blows up, that was the wrong choice of words, but you know what I mean. If things flare up, then maybe we'll reconsider
or
expand. Yeah, then we'll think of something else. But even, yeah, like you said, even Albania, Serbia, Bulgaria, they're not that close.
Because most of the war too in Ukraine is on the eastern side, and so from where we are now, it would be like if you're in Colorado and there's a war in Maine. I mean, that's how far away it would be. It's a long ways away. It may be further than that. I don't know, but because there's a lot of countries in between us and that.
So we got, JP, you got an editing question from Mike Davis. Do you edit your own videos, or do you hire someone to handle the creation of your videos?
All right, so
good question.
All right, so we had an editor. I haven't edited much in the last 2 years, and we had an editor.
We had an editing service.
And I let them go like 2 months ago, and I edited our video starting with the Skoder video. So the Skoder and the Paris, the Montenegro, our Ecuador update, I edited all those. And I determined that I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it. It's just time consuming. I spent 30 hours on the Montenegro video editing it, and probably about that much on the Paris video. And I can't spend that much time editing.
No, and part of that was because you were learning the software and doing all this other stuff. And yeah, you don't have time for that. So now we have an editor back on board.
Yes, and full time for us.
Yes.
We're paying him monthly to edit videos for us.
But they don't do everything. So JP still does all the direction and gives all the input and everything.
Yeah.
So we don't just give them the raw files and then they put it all together.
Yeah, I give the direction, and then we actually are working together. That's one thing that didn't work as well with the service we had, is that it was like I threw everything over the wall and then they threw everything back, and there was no like collaboration or communication. And so it took a lot of revisions. It was a lot of extra work. But now that we have a dedicated editor, I'm actually taking the revision or the versions that he does, and I'm editing them, and then I'm like little tweaks here and there. Then I push it back to him, and he can edit and do more of the heavy lifting. So he does kind of more of the time consuming heavy lifting stuff, and I'm doing the minor edits now.
Yeah, so it's a good blend.
It's going to be better for me.
Much better, yes. For both of us.
I know. Amelia was not happy with me. She said, "Are you ever going to be done with this video?"
And I know how you are, and you just really get into all the minutia because you enjoy it. And yeah. Anyway, let's move on to questions.
Okay, so let's see. Where do you book your stays? All through Airbnb. Airbnb. We've stayed in 2 hotels since we've been slow traveling.
Yes. And wow, I would love the Christmas markets, Carol. I'm sure they were amazing, but they still look cold to me. I'm a snow wimp now, since I haven't lived in Colorado for so long. We missed quite a few.
Yeah. How are you handling healthcare while you travel? We have health insurance in Ecuador still that covers us for emergencies. Otherwise, we're just paying out of pocket. And it's so affordable that it's like a copay in the United States to go see a doctor here. So we just pay cash if we need to.
Knock on wood, we haven't really needed to have anything major. We don't have chronic things where we have to go in regularly and get checkups and have treatments, or we don't even have any medications other than our allergy medication. So we're pretty lucky.
So when we go to Malaysia, we're going to do their health screening while we're there. It's like $400 or something, and I call it a 100-point inspection. So they're going to look at everything while we're there and get our checkup. So any stops in Africa? Not on this trip, but yes. We have several countries in Africa that we want to visit, including, was it Mauritius? I don't know how it's pronounced. The islands north of Madagascar. And Madagascar. We have to go see lemurs and those cool looking trees.
Yes, there's a lot of places in Africa that would be nice to visit. We were just looking at Tunisia too.
Tunisia and Algeria, because we met some people here in France that are from there, and they say it's great, and we should totally go there.
And we believe them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see.
So Netminder, 2,200-mile backpacking trip. I'm impressed.
Wow.
That's awesome. And living overseas for 3 months a year. Boy, that's exciting for you. Congrats.
Yeah, so somebody said they were in Romania and the war is far, far away, and now they're in Turkey, and it's even more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your perspective. We appreciate that.
What's been your most pleasant surprise recently? Yesterday? We can't talk about it, but probably yesterday for me.
Was it? I don't even know.
I don't know. We went to a small town in France, and it reminded us of Aspen, actually.
Yeah.
It was really unexpected and super cool.
It was. I think really, in general, my most pleasant surprise, I saw somebody had this comment about if countries are okay with having U.S. Americans visiting their countries. And the answer is yes. Everybody's been nice. Everybody's been really nice and helpful and friendly.
I know, and especially here in France. France gets a bad rap, but we have not experienced that at all. In fact, we were just at the grocery store, and like yesterday, there was a confusion. There was a bunch of people going to check out at once, and this woman, she didn't realize we were in line, and she stepped in front of me, and she's like, "Oh, please go ahead," and I'm like, "No, it's okay, no big deal, go for it." She's like, "No, I insist, please." All in French, of course. We have been studying France, and I got to say that I'm French, and I can understand it pretty well, and I can read it better just after a couple of months of studying it.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were really nice. Everybody's
really nice.
super nice.
So just that's the kind of stuff that I guess we shouldn't be surprised by that, but because of the stereotype, that has been a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, people are friendly. Somebody. Oh,
yeah. Oh, here we go. Poles dancer. Is climate change affecting you where you visit or where you might consider resettling, including Cuenca? It's always on our mind. I mean, it's weird now we're in France and it has been unseasonably cool here. So it's been in the 60s almost our entire time that we've been here, like in the mid to upper 60s. We've had a few days in the 70s.
Yeah. But is that unseasonable?
Yeah, it's warmer. It's usually warmer. I looked it up. The average was like 70 something in the 70s. So yeah, it's been like 5 to 10 degrees below normal. And then in the winter in Greece was the warmest winter they've ever had on record. And it was still chilly to us. We did have some nice days where we were out in January in short sleeve shirts and people were swimming in the sea. But
that was shocking.
It was shocking.
But we keep an eye on it, but it's not making us change our minds about anything. And definitely not Cuenca because it's pretty temperate there. It hasn't changed that much, although they have been having less rain. And I say that because they had those power outages, but that was a lot of really bad management and not so much to do with lack of rain because they've had a lot of rain lately.
Yeah. Yeah. They had some corruption issues with the power outages in Ecuador, but according to our resources and our community who are living in Cuenca, they say that that's over now, I think, or almost over, or maybe just certain areas.
Yes, let's hope.
Let's see. Come to Cleveland, Ohio. Actually, the Midwest is one area where I wouldn't go right now in the spring or summer with all these tornadoes. They're even making the news in Europe, the bad tornado season. I probably would avoid that. We'd have to check in with our families like all the time now.
Yes, that's true.
You use a language app. Yes, we use LingoPie and we use Duolingo when we're not in front of our laptops. Yes. Or a computer or a TV.
And despite how uncomfortable it is, sometimes we force ourselves to open our mouths and speak to the locals, and they're actually really gracious about it. They just kind of smile at us and correct us.
Here's Amelia when somebody speaks French to her. And then I jump in, I say, "Parlez-vous anglais?"
Because my brain brain instantly, you're right. I have done it a few times. I have frozen because my brain instantly goes to Spanish. That's been a tough one. That has been an unpleasant surprise. I mean, it's nice to know my brain's like so in tune with Espanol now, but
it's so funny to see Amelia get hit by she just like freeze like
I did do that because I was like, wait, how do I say this again?
And almost everybody speaks enough English to get by with our French. And a lot of times what's that called, crosstalk?
Yeah.
So they'll speak to us in French and we'll speak to them in English and we somehow understand each other.
Yeah, because just like what we understand more than we're able to speak, it's vice versa with them in English.
Somebody explained that's what they're doing in Mos Eisley in Star Wars, where people talk in that bar and everybody understands each other, but no one's speaking the same language. So that's what we do here in France and Albania and Montenegro.
So you just compared us to Star Wars.
Yeah, we're in Mos Eisley.
Okay, that's hilarious, JP.
What? Oh, that's Henry Orea. Is London or Dublin a great place to visit first for someone who's never been to the UK, Europe? I'm hoping it won't be too much of a culture shock coming from the US. Thoughts from both?
We haven't been to either place.
I've been to London.
Oh, I haven't been to either place. I forgot you went to London.
It would be a lot easier for the language barrier because although in London it's easy, Dublin and like Scotland are a lot more difficult. The accents are hard for us to understand, but I would say it would be a good place to start if you can afford it. London is ridiculously expensive, on par with the United States.
Yeah, they're definitely it's more expensive to go there, I think, to find lodging. At least that's what we've researched. Ireland is part of that. But yeah, the language barrier would be less. But I'm sure there's still some culture shock.
Oh yeah, there will be.
Yeah, I mean, there always is. But
it's not too bad, though.
No. The more you do it, the easier it gets too, because you just kind of I don't know. You just come to expect that things are going to be different, and you just learn how to navigate it easier, and you just become more comfortable. Would you agree? I didn't say that very well, but you guys know what I mean.
She's using
maybe you know what I mean.
Using her mouth words. What country shocked you the most with its sheer beauty?
Oh wow, boy, that's a tough one. So just rugged beauty besides Ecuador, which
Rome.
Well, no,
France.
I would say
like the country of, in the outside of Paris. I mean, Paris was beautiful, but the countryside in France is
beautiful,
incredible. Like it's just like the movies. We were talking about that yesterday. It's just like the movies.
It is. I would have to agree with you, JP.
But Rome, I was just shocked by the beauty and but a lot of that is the history and just the thinking of what that was when it was built.
That was amazing. But that's, a city, not the actual country. Ecuador is still the most beautiful from a true overall country perspective for me.
Let's see. How do you guys keep your U.S. driver's license? Use a relative's or friend's address? We still have our Colorado driver's license. Those were good for 10 years. So
I don't know. We were just talking about this the other day, what we're going to do about that.
We've got like 4 more years or 5 years before we have to think about that. And I don't know what we're going to do.
But we use a virtual mailbox. So we have a mail service. And then we also do use my family address if we need to. Mm-hmm. Plus we have a business address. So we have, what is that we have, JP?
What?
That business address?
Traveling mailbox?
No.
Oh, the registered agent.
Yeah, that's what it is. The registered agent.
In Texas, we have a registered agent, which provides us a physical address.
Right. So we always recommend keeping a U.S. address for certain things because it just makes life easier for like banking and getting your mail, depending on where you're going.
Will you guys visit Colorado and see what's changed? No plans to do that.
Well, I was in Colorado, but that was
6 years
ago, and it had already changed quite a bit. So I can't even imagine how much it's changed now. But yeah, we don't have any plans to do that anytime soon.
Do you have any chronic conditions? I get back injections. Do you have any suggestions while slow traveling? You can make appointments. That's the thing here in most other countries, you don't actually have to have insurance to get an appointment with a doctor or even a specialist. You just research them online. You can look at Google reviews or ask for recommendations. in a local expat group, and you can call their office and make an appointment. A lot of them have WhatsApp or email or a contact form on their website, so you can even communicate in English. Most of what we've experienced so far is they speak English, most of them.
Right.
Most of them were educated in in a country where English was the bridge language, so they speak English generally.
But the key for that, if you're going to slow travel, make sure you do a lot of research in advance. And also, your insurance is probably not going to cover that.
No, it probably won't.
I mean, you definitely could do that in some of the countries we've been to, no problem at all. But you're just make sure you really get your ducks in a row. And I would try to stick to a bigger city, because some of the places that we've been to that are rural don't have a lot of healthcare. So you end up having to go an hour or more outside the city.
But a lot of the things you can get outside the US, not everything. And like if it's experimental, it's probably not going to be available. But if it's been around for a long time, you can probably get it in another country. Are you leasing out your place in Ecuador? No, we don't have a place in Ecuador. We never bought while we were there.
Nope, we just rented.
We rented.
That's one of the reasons we were able to just to let everything go.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a lot to let go of.
Yeah, somebody said it must be a different France. I must be, because the stereotype is not holding true for us.
Yeah, I think it has changed. I was reading about that too, actually, that they said over the last, I guess, maybe 20 years, 10, 15, 20 years, people have been learning more English, and just attitudes have changed.
Let's see. I lost it, scrolled automatically. Let's see. Hello, when slow traveling like you are, how much luggage do you take with you? Taking your equipment and clothes changes for videos, I'm guessing, requires taking lots of clothing. Actually, it's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. We wear a lot of the same stuff over and over again. What we've really come to realize is that if we don't have to carry a lot of winter clothes with us, then our luggage is lighter. So that's another reason we're thinking no more winter.
Yeah, we've already started ditching our winter clothes, and my suitcase is only about half full now. So I really would like to get back to a rollerboard.
Yeah, but you'll see we actually do wear a lot of the same stuff repeatedly.
Yeah, Morocco, yes, definitely. That's one of the places in Africa that we want to go, but it won't be until our next round after we do Central and South America. Does Ecuador require you to come back after some time? We have to go back one day, at least one day every 2 years, and basically you get your passport stamped and you can leave again. But
that's for us because we've been there. We fulfilled all of our previous time obligations. So you can't just get your 2-year temporary visa or even your permanent visa and then just leave. You have to stay for a certain amount
5
of
years.
time.
You have to be either 2 years on temporary and 2 years on permanent, or is it 3 years?
It's 2 years on permanent.
2 years on permanent. So you have to be there a total of 4 years. And then after that, you can be gone permanently and just come back once every 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, you can't leave. Obviously, you're not a prisoner, but that you can't be gone for a long time. It's either 3 or 6 months. I can't remember because it's changed a couple times since we've gotten ours, and I haven't looked into it
for
recently.
the temporary.
For the temporary,
And the first 2 years of the permanent.
It's 3 months. Yeah. So you got to really watch that.
Room share, somebody I think put Gringo Post. I would look on Gringo Post, or there's a Facebook, Cuenca Expats Facebook group that might be a good resource. Yeah, our postal service is Traveling Mailbox.
Yes.
We've been with them since 2016.
Yeah.
2016.
We decided to try it out to make sure it worked well before we left the US, and we love it.
Sardinia, Italy. Yes, that's all of. Actually, I just told Amelia, I think we need to spend an entire 3 months of our Schengen time in Italy and just go from north to south or vice versa and hit all of it. And I'd love to go to Sardinia.
Yeah, that would be amazing. It looks beautiful. Wow. Yikes. Those are some expensive prices.
Yeah, London is ridiculously expensive, especially with the dollar exchange rate being so bad. Croatia is on our list.
Yes. We're not sure when yet, but it is on the list.
Maybe soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe before we go to Southeast Asia, but I don't know yet. Trying to buy a place in Spain, any pointers?
Well, I work with a professional because I understand the bureaucracy is pretty painful. Although I have to think, personally, I think the bureaucracy in every country is painful. But with the language barrier and everybody's unique rules, that would be tricky. But since we haven't done that ourselves, I don't have a lot of input.
Yeah. Albania is still a good place for American expats? I think it's even better. I think it's getting better. They're building a lot of new, really nice condo buildings in Tirana and also in Durrës and other places along the coast. They're building a new airport in Vlora, which will make it easier to get to and from Albania. The cost of living it's by far the lowest.
It is.
In fact, one of our next videos, like 2 videos out, is going to be all about our average cost per month for our first 6 months of slow travel. And Albania is by far the most affordable place. I mean, that's not going to be a shock to anyone.
No.
I can't imagine it would be. And so you'll have to watch that video and we're going to talk through all of our expenses.
But also sorry, I got just hit the microphone. When we were in Albania and Tirana, there were a lot of people that spoke English and people were really friendly. It was easy to get around. I mean, it's not perfect, obviously. It is still developing, but we really liked it.
So travelingmailbox.com.
Yes.
What credit card? We have Chase. What is it?
We have Chase
Preferred.
Sapphire.
Preferred.
I think so.
That's it. That's pretty much what we use.
Well, we also have Capital One.
Yeah, but we don't use it very much. Mainly because the chip and the stripe don't work very well. I've worn them out. Let's see. June 6th this week, any memorial events in France?
Yes.
Yes.
They've been doing a lot of different things. Well, especially in Normandy, they had a big event. But they did some things locally around the country as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of foreign dignitaries in France for this D-Day celebration. 80 years. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Let's see.
Oh, yeah. So, Curtis, we've heard that a lot about South Dakota. We ended up doing Texas because my family moved there. But South Dakota is a really good option. And from what I understand, it's really easy.
Which country so far had the most gloomy days? France.
France. France definitely.
We've heard it's worse in the spring and the fall, and we're here in the spring, and there's been a lot of gray and gloomy, but everything's super green because of that.
Yeah.
Let's see. We already talked about the climate change earlier. Let's see.
You mean not everything is 20 pounds? John?
What's your basic monthly budget on slow travel? Can your slow travel like on $2,500 per month? Stay tuned. That's our next video, or next one after this next one. I was just working on pulling all the numbers together today for that video. So we don't have the exact numbers yet. You'll have to watch that video. Are you disclosing your current country? We're in France. If you decide to renounce U.S. citizenship, what are your top 3 countries you would consider residency? Well, it's got to be more than residency. We'd have to get citizenship. Right. And right now, we don't know because we're not anywhere near there. And it takes a lot. It's getting harder and harder to get a passport. And we wouldn't want to get just any passport. It would need to be a decent passport because it's really nice having a U.S. passport. We don't have to apply for visas in most countries. And it's just easier to have a U.S. passport. It's really nice.
But that is a big difference. When we're talking about residency, we are not talking about giving up our citizenship.
Let's see.
Laura
asks, do you still eat plant-based? It's so curious how things have gone while traveling. Yes, we do. And it's pretty well. It's easy to cook. It's been really, really easy to cook our normal plant-based foods.
Yeah, we don't find as much variety. That's one of the things we miss about Ecuador is that we honestly didn't realize how good Super Maxi was until we didn't have it anymore.
Super Maxi's like the best grocery store. I had no idea.
Yeah, they've got everything.
I know, because
that's in Ecuador. If you guys aren't familiar with that,
we went to Carrefour here in France, and it was one of their big ones, like a super Walmart or a super Target. It's a massive grocery store, and they still didn't have everything that we could find in Ecuador. I couldn't believe it. So that was nice.
Overall it's not always easy if we want to eat out, but yet we still managed to figure it out because that was one of the other things we were looking at when we were working on our cost of living stuff.
Hey, Henry, thank you again. Much appreciated. Really appreciate the super chats. If time to travel to the past was possible, what era would you guys love to explore? Also, do you two think there is time travel technology and governments hiding it? Thoughts from you both? Well, time travel is possible forward because astronauts have already traveled into the future, including the satellites in space. They actually have to adjust the clocks on those things regularly because they go so fast. And proved Einstein's theory of relativity, that the faster you go, you actually travel through time into the future. But as far as going into the past, I don't know. Einstein said it wasn't possible. I'm going to trust him.
But what era would you want to visit, JP?
Ooh.
I think it might be fun to visit the Victorian era. But then I think of some of the true logistics of just like daily life.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't want to go past indoor plumbing. So as long as there was indoor plumbing, I would like to do that. But
yeah,
maybe the roaring 20s before everything crashed.
The world, but and the depression and
or the early 1900s when all the technology was new and people were optimistic. Would you mind sharing what microphones you use? Y'all are so clear and easy.
Oh,
that's our new
thank you.
Our new Rode mic that we bought in Greece. See, I can't see am I in frame here? It's a Rode mic, wireless mic. That's what we're using right now. We also have a Rode shotgun mic for the camera that we use. This
is the wireless go-to.
Yep.
Yeah, it works well.
It does work well.
The only downside is that they don't hold a really long charge.
Yeah, and it was expensive. It was like $450. And then we had to buy these lapel mics, and those were $80 each.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So it ended up costing us like $600 to get this mic.
But they're a big improvement, especially because some of the places we're in are just so echoey. Man, we've just struggled with echo for a long time.
Yeah, I know. I want to go to Mont Saint Michel so badly, but it's not on our agenda this time. It's in the wrong direction. NAC France. I don't know where that is.
I don't know. Well, we'll look that up. Thanks for the recommendation, Dennis.
Can you carry 1 ounce gold bars internationally? I think it depends on the country. Different countries have different laws about that. So you need to check where you're going. And also if it's worth more than $10,000, then 1 ounce wouldn't be. But if you travel with more than 1 ounce, then you would need to declare it and then probably pay tax on it.
Yeah, Croatia is right there next to Italy.
Yep.
I know there's just so many places.
I know. We flew over Croatia on our way from Montenegro to Paris, and I'm like, oh my God, we have to go there. I mean, just seeing it from the airplane, it looks so beautiful. I haven't seen anything about Bitcoin. Have you? I haven't seen any Bitcoin signs or ATMs or anything. We did in Albania, I think. Didn't we?
Remember.
I can't remember now.
No, I haven't seen any in Europe. Not where we've been.
Where are you two from before Denver? I'm from Kansas. Amelia is from the Chicagoland area, as she likes to say.
Yes.
I guess that's how they say it there.
That is how they say it there, as in we.
How much does it cost for sending things cargo to Cuenca? We don't have a lot of stuff.
Well, if you don't want to do a container, it's expensive.
It's really expensive. It's even more now than it used to be. Yeah. Very, very expensive.
A container is like $10,000. It is not cheap to ship stuff to Ecuador. We looked into doing like a pallet, and wasn't it like $5,000?
Yeah, it was and that was 7 years ago.
It was crazy.
Have you considered getting out of the cities and visiting some of the smaller villages and towns, especially in France and Italy? We are in one right now. We're in a small city right now. We visited a really small, I would call it a very small city or a large town yesterday. That was fun. So we'll be talking about those in an upcoming video.
We're going to try to do more of a variety because we like the big cities, but at the same time, they're
too expensive.
They're too expensive, and sometimes they could be a little overwhelming. And from a time perspective, it's tough because it takes just an hour just to get into the city.
Yeah.
That's how it was for us in Paris. That was a bit tricky. Yeah. They're really too big for us for living. I mean, it's fun to explore, but those are also because we just wanted to see them, and then we don't really have any plans on going back.
Yeah, one and done. I mean, those were bucket lists.
Exactly.
Athens, Rome. Although I wouldn't mind going back to Rome. We didn't even get to see a fraction of what I wanted to see, but Rome and Paris were all bucket list trips that we've checked off our list. I mean, this is new to us. Amelia and I did not grow up in families that traveled. My biggest trip was a 1-year trip to Texas to see my grandparents. Other than that, I think we did one trip to New Mexico 1 year to see my uncle. And that was it. I mean, we didn't travel.
Yeah, we didn't travel a lot either.
So now it's like it's all new and exciting for us. And so that's why we're doing some of these bucket list places first. A lot of people are complaining, go to smaller countries, go to cheaper places, go to smaller cities, and
we're going to do that too.
We're getting there. Just please be patient with us. We have a lot of places on our list.
I know. And then the more we travel and we get to know an area, the more I want to just continue to see more of that. And that's what gets so tricky, because we can't just stay in the same place forever, because we want to go out and see all these other places. Sometimes it pulls on my heartstrings a little bit.
To leave?
Yeah.
I know, me too. And then we meet the locals and a lot of people from other countries who talk to us about their countries, and then we want to go there.
I know. Good problems to have, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we've heard great things about Lyon too. Hey guys, good to see you. Do you have a regular exercise, wellness, nutrition routine? How is it affected by slow travel?
Oh, hey, Terry. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Terry. I didn't even look at your name.
Well, let me tell you, we have definitely been yo-yoing a little bit, especially in the beginning when we kind of went crazy and thought we were just on nonstop vacation when we got to Portugal, and we ate out, and then our clothes got tight. And then we had our
the olive catastrophe of Greece.
Yeah, so we both kind of blew up. So yeah, we are trying to balance out that a little bit more. We are eating healthier meals at home. We cut back on the snacking. We were fine that we were kind of mindlessly snacking, especially in winter because we were cold. But mostly we have been doing these YouTube workouts where we can do either just body weight only or with resistance bands. And they've been making a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, Amelia went full wife on me until I finally gave in and started doing her workouts with her on YouTube. I actually enjoy it. It's nice.
But my other thing that I told JP that you got to do that really works for me is if you buy clothes that fit, like they're fitted, not like really super loose and baggy, then if you gain a couple pounds, you notice it pretty quickly because they start to feel tight. And that works for me. And then I'm like, okay, I got to reel it back in. Probably not the best advice for health and wellness, though.
Any challenges, surprises while slow traveling? What would you have done differently? We would have gone to warm. We would have stayed in a warm climate, probably done like either Southeast Asia first or stayed in South America for the winter. Because
I agree.
That was a big mistake. We had the entirely wrong wardrobe, and we had to replace our clothes. That was expensive. I had to get shoes that would work in really cold weather. And so I don't know. That would be my biggest mistake, is not chasing the sun and staying in places that are a little bit warmer.
And also not asking up front what the internet speeds were in some of these places, because we just assumed they would be as good as Ecuador, and that has not been the case. Not everywhere. Some places had great internet, but we have had some unpleasant surprises a couple times.
Let's see, Amelia, I've noticed.
Hey, look at that.
I know. It says ads will run. Is there a way for me to stop that?
Sorry, you guys. We just saw skip ads. Wow. That's a new one.
That's a new one. We haven't done a live stream in so long that YouTube's changed this. And apparently a bunch of you were about to see some ads, so we skipped them.
Yeah.
We don't want to disrupt our flow here.
No, I'm glad they notified us.
I know, that's nice. Let's see. Same tops, always fashionable, and still working remotely. Are you still working remotely?
Yes, I am still working remotely. And that ebbs and flows. Sometimes I'm more busy. Like this week, I haven't been very busy. But despite the time change, it still is working pretty well. I only had to work at 11 p.m. and do a training meeting once. Hopefully that is the one and only time. But
that was rough. Because then she's wide awake afterwards, and we were up till 2 a.m. and
I know.
Couldn't sleep.
And I'm the one who goes to bed at like 9:30. But I made it work.
Oh, our band played 2 summers in Croatia. Cool.
Ooh,
cool. I missed Dennis. Yes, Dennis, we are planning on going to Panama finally next year.
I know. Can you believe we haven't been there yet?
I cannot. We had a trip planned and we had to cancel it.
Yes.
Do you rent cars often or mainly use public transportation? We have not rented a car since the U.S. We had to rent a car in the U.S. because my parents live way too far from the airport to take Uber, and they live kind of in the country, so we needed a car. It's so expensive. We've spent virtually no money on, we were just looking at the numbers, we spend virtually no money on transportation other than airfare. Even that now that we're in Europe is not bad.
No, it's not. We did have a couple surprising Uber rides that were more expensive
than
we had anticipated. Yeah, that was expensive. So that was a mistake that we made. We should have taken the metro.
Yeah, if you want to force yourself to overcome your discomfort and take the metro in Rome, do an Uber ride, and the next time you think about that, then you're going to be really more inclined to go take the metro.
I'm pretty sure we could have walked faster because we got stuck in heavy traffic and it was really frustrating.
Yeah, and super expensive. How many days do you stay in one Airbnb? Well, the one we just left, we were there for 3 full weeks.
Mm-hmm. It depends. We always book for a week, so at least we get the week discount.
Yeah, but usually it's 2 weeks, and then a lot of times we extend it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Poor man's Paris.
Oh, sounds like it's right up my alley.
Why Ecuador and not Panama for your home base? Because we are permanent residents in Ecuador.
Well, we chose Ecuador because we wanted something. Well, I don't know. It just seemed really appealing to us.
Mm-hmm. And still is.
It still is, yes. Oh, hey, Woha, represented. Joe M. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't Joe M. Sorry. Oh, yeah, it was Joe M.
Cool. Visited Rome back in the 90s, didn't want to come home. Yeah, I know, it's amazing.
God, it's stunning. All of that architecture and the history.
Yes, that's our plan, Tom, is to settle in. They have really 3 countries counting Ecuador. So we want 2 more countries where we can go spend 3 to 4 months a year. Did you miss having a home to go back to, Amelia?
I did at first, but I have gotten used to it. Can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. I'm kind of a homebody, but well, I guess I thought I was. Those days are over for a while.
May do Oat small tour. I'm not sure what that is. The Baltics, but we really like the Baltic states. That's in the north. I'd go in the summer. Yeah, ignore all the yada yada yackers.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that.
Thanks, John. Is Georgia a good country that is easy to Spain and back? I don't know if they have direct flights or not. They probably do from Madrid to Tbilisi. I'm sure they probably do. Let's see, JP, a little bit of weight looks good on you. Amelia, you're as stunning as ever.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not sure if that's a good compliment or not. I'm actually pretty thin right now.
No, I think it is compared to when we blew up from the olives.
Yeah, the olive catastrophe.
You could see it in our video.
Yeah, I'm actually working on the full beard. Amelia likes it. So
I do like it.
You got to do what Amelia likes. That's how I pretty much make decisions in life. If Amelia likes it, I do it.
Sure, I totally believe that. I'll take it.
We both look great. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Wow.
Any favorite toiletries that you stock up on? Yeah, that's exactly what I say. Whenever my husband always says I take too much stuff and it's too heavy.
Well, that has happened because I bought some since I just started dyeing my hair again. When we were in Spain, I bought some shampoo that was for color treated hair. So you get the full bottle, so it's heavy. But what am I going to do? I'm not going to just pour half of it out because I'm going to use it. We're going to keep going. So it does get kind of heavy. But really, I miss my stuff from Manoa, which was Ecuador based, because it was very affordable and it worked really well. So I've just kind of had to try some different things. I tried a French brand that, not that one that's like Embryolisse or whatever. Don't ask me how to pronounce this stuff, but one of them had too much scent in it and it really made my rosacea flare up. So then I kind of pulled back and I'm not really using a whole heck of a lot of anything these days, except for my shampoo and all of my curly hair stuff.
Yeah.
Which is heavy.
I don't have very much stuff at all.
No, you don't.
How long have you been married? We just had our 8-year anniversary. That's the official legal.
Yes.
That's the official, right? 8 years? Yes.
Yes.
That's the official legal day. Then we got married again, kind of, and we had a ceremony in India when we went.
Yes.
But we've been together for almost 12 years. That's kind of that's the anniversary we really celebrate in September.
Oh, wait, I'm going to go back to Lisa again. So Lisa, I do want to tell you, I have been able to find everything I needed everywhere we went. It just may not be the same brand that you're used to, but it hasn't really been a struggle other than the fact that my skin had to adapt to using different stuff.
Have we met any slow travelers with teenagers?
I feel like we did meet
We did, but I don't remember where.
I can't remember where. Yeah, we totally did. Oh, was that in Montenegro? Or was it in Albania?
I don't remember now. We'll come back to that if we can think of it. It might come to us.
Yeah. Oh, somebody got an ad anyway?
Yeah.
Oh,
So they've removed all of my controls for the ads. YouTube is, they got to make more money every quarter.
Wow, you guys, we had no idea. Well, thanks for letting us know. I don't know if we could do anything about it. That's really kind of irritating.
I know, I don't like that because I
feel like we shouldn't complain about YouTube while
so here's YouTube. I know it's the thing is
they're
that
listening.
I know they probably are listening. We love you, YouTube. Show our videos to more people.
But yeah, it does seem odd to have an ad interruption during a live stream, and especially when we had no idea. So we've just been yakking away.
Yeah. We don't know when we'll do another one yet. We do one every month in our Live Abroad program. If you want to attend them for member only, it's a lot smaller group and more intimate, and we make sure to get to everybody's questions. So if that's an interest to you, I guess I can put that back in here.
Oh, and good to know that the ad was really short. So thank you, because we don't want you guys getting spammed. So working remotely is definitely a change if you're not used to it. It does feel weird because you really have to start to figure out how to create your own structure. I've been doing it for a long time, so it's gotten really normal to me. But I know a lot of people struggle with missing the environment where they go in and have their coworkers to talk to, and they have more of that, I guess, accountability with the, you have to be in the office at a certain time, that sort of thing. But it'll get better.
Mike says he's impressed with our lack of ums and ahs. Did we do Toastmasters or something similar? Amelia and I were both professional speakers before we started YouTube. I think that I've never used fillers like that I can think of.
No, I used to more when we started YouTubing, especially. I don't think I did when I used to do product presentations for my job. But yeah, we did also do Toastmasters. We did that together.
Yeah, we did that together. I didn't get that much out of it, but I know
it never hurts to practice.
I used to build software systems and I trained teams on how to use them. So, and then I also wrote a book and I did volunteer work to help people start businesses. And I've done all kinds of public speaking. So it helps a lot when you're out there public speaking. And then you move to YouTube, it's kind of a skill set that transfers.
The weirdest thing for me when we first started YouTube was that I was used to speaking in front of people and standing up and having the eye contact and the interaction with them, and then to go to just speaking in a camera, it made me feel very self-conscious at first. I don't anymore.
Yeah, it is weird. Now you say it, you pointed that out. You shattered the glass here I had in perception. Do you use a travel water filter?
We did, but we didn't end up bringing it with us.
Yeah, because in Europe, most everywhere we've been able to drink the water. They said we couldn't drink it in Albania, but I honestly think we could. It's chlorinated. But we didn't actually drink it in Albania, but we drank the water everywhere else we've been in Europe so far. So we haven't needed it.
Yeah. We'll want it when we go to other parts of the world.
Yeah. Italy requires Uber Black. So we actually did the iTaxi, which we were able to book through Uber. So it's basically use Uber to request a taxi, which is really nice because then you don't have to deal with telling the taxi driver in Italian where you're going. It works just like Uber, but even that was just so expensive.
It was expensive.
I mean, it's way more money than we're used to paying.
Yeah, we were surprised.
Let's see. I like it in this format. It's like we're in the same room. It's so personal.
That's so nice to hear. It's nice to get your feedback.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Let's see. Has there been a time where you guys felt really unsafe if your recent travels in Europe?
No. We were irritated by some tourist scammers.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel unsafe.
I haven't felt unsafe a single time. And we walked around at night, and I went out at night by myself one night. I went to a riding club when we were in Tirana, Albania, and I walked home by myself at night in the dark. And there were other single women walking by themselves on their cell phone, scrolling social media while they're walking down the street in the dark. And I thought, I don't have anything to worry about here.
We did walk over to that one restaurant that turned out to be in a sketchy area in Paris.
There was a shelter across the street from this restaurant we went to, and it was a bit sketchy, the neighborhood. And afterwards, I looked up online, and it's one of the neighborhoods it's not too far from the Louvre, and you're supposed to avoid that area.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like there were a group of ladies in there eating lunch. So I didn't feel like I was guarded. Let me say that I was watching what was going on. Nobody bothered us though.
Did you visit any coastal cities like Manta and Salinas, and did you like them? We lived in Manta for a year, and we have a ton of videos on our YouTube channel, but it's a lot different now than it was then. And we have videos about Salinas. We lived in Olón on the coast for a year.
Yeah, and we liked all of them. They're all completely different.
Yeah, they are. I've noticed more Americans living outside the U.S. now more than ever. Are you finding the same? Yes, a lot more digital nomads and slow travelers too. A lot of people.
Yeah, we're seeing more of that.
Mm-hmm. Darn it, this keeps scrolling like automatically. I lost my spot? Is it too much of a hustle to do slow traveling with a checked suitcase, getting out of Uber, taxi? Would you consider changing to traveling with just a hiking backpack? No. Well, I mean, we have our YouTube gear, which takes up most of my backpack already. And then we have Amelia's beauty supply warehouse that takes up most of my suitcase.
It's not that bad.
But I am going to get down to a rollerboard, and Amelia will do a check bag still because she'll probably do most of the clothes, or she'll have to carry all of her own beauty supplies and clothes. And I'm going to be minimal wardrobe going forward, but there's no way we could do just a backpack. Plus my back is not good enough to carry a backpack big enough to carry everything.
My issue with a travel backpack for me is that it would be really hard for me to find one that would fit properly. I mean, I used to backpack like out with my tent and everything, but I don't really want to carry that much around with me because I'm also only 5 feet tall. And so the regular like travel backpacks they don't fit me properly. So I'd have to really go out and get like one for true hiking, and they don't function the same. Plus I get hot. So that's just not my thing.
Have you ever hosted in-person gatherings with followers? We've done a few in Cuenca. The last public one that we did, and we only had like 3,000 subscribers. There were over 60 people showed up. Group. And so we decided then that we can't do the public ones anymore unless we have it organized, because we would need to have like a venue and security and all of that kind of stuff, because most of these places require that you can't just have a really large impromptu gathering.
Right.
There was some influencer that did that in Cuenca, and she got in all kinds of trouble for it. She posted, although she had like 1,000 people show up, but we would need to plan it better if we did a public one now.
Yes, we would. Oh yeah, Avery, I saw your question about your husband or your partners playing bass, and yeah, you definitely can find other people to play with.
Yeah. Do you have any investments in the U.S. still? I'm trying to find a brokerage that will welcome me even if I move abroad and not force liquidation. We use Charles Schwab.
Yep.
So, but we keep a U.S. address. We have a physical and a traveling mailbox virtual address. So, I mean, to the government and everyone else, we have U.S.-based addresses for that kind of stuff.
And yeah, as for our eSIM, we use Airlo, which has worked really well. We've been really happy with it.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't cost that much. It's like $12 or $13 a month is all we spend for our
affordable.
Data. What's the best for scooter or wheelchairs? Paris.
Podgorica.
In Montenegro. The capital of Montenegro is wide, flat sidewalks, ramps everywhere.
Really well maintained.
Yeah, really nice sidewalks. How old are you, Amelia? Is that you're gonna reveal the age?
I'm 55. I have nothing to hide.
I'm 52. She's a cradle robber. Best advice for a retired single traveler. I would connect. My best advice would be to connect with locals. So like before you go to a place, look online, mainly Facebook, but sometimes there's other groups like on expat.com or internations.com or .org.
Yeah, I think they're .org.
Internations.org or Reddit, and connect with local expats in the area and try to meet up with them when you're there and make some friends. We had a really, really nice time in Albania because we actually took the time to go to some events and we met some people and made some friends. And now I'm part of a writing club in Albania. And when we go back there, I will be attending those events again. And it's just really nice to meet people and have people to talk to.
Absolutely.
I am praying to find a partner to travel with. I'm 60 in November. Happy 60.
Yes.
It's the new 30.
And good luck. Hopefully
you should be on this side of the ads. Sorry, Avery, but I clicked disable, but it obviously doesn't work. This is a new feature. Not a fan of the ads because every time somebody gets an ad, they leave, and then I see our numbers going down.
It's really disappointing. I'm glad you told us, but we can give them YouTube some feedback.
I know the downside is now they've removed my ability to turn on or off the super chat. So now the only thing I can do is either turn monetization off or on. But then if I turn it off, then you guys can't do super chats if you want to make sure that we see your comment, because sometimes we get hundreds and we don't see everybody's.
It also depends on what part of the world you're in, because the ads in France are ridiculous.
They're brutal, and you can't skip them either. They're all non-skippable 20-second ads at the beginning and middle of every video.
And then when we were in Albania, we had like no ads. So I think it depends on where you're watching.
Yeah, I know. I think YouTube is actually going to force me to join their member program because I'm so tired of watching ads that I may actually have to pay their extortion fee to not see them anymore. Have you thought of walking the Camino? That would be cool. My cousin has done that twice, I think.
Maybe these ads are because we're actually in France right now, you guys.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
That could be. So it'll be really interesting when we are in a new location to see what happens. So even though this is irritating for all of you, I appreciate you guys being patient with us and telling us too. So we'll pay attention.
It's not that we can do anything about it. YouTube's removing all of our features.
I know.
So we can't turn anything off anymore. Let's see. They don't play during the Panama relocation.
That's what made me think of that, because they're in Panama.
So it made to be different. And also it's different on where you are. It's different on where they are. Let's see. We're going to talk about our monthly average costs in our video after this next one. So stay tuned. We don't have all those numbers ready yet.
Doing the data.
Yeah, we're still crunching the numbers. But that video will be out in like a week and a half. Let's see. It's the hardest thing to find someone who is financially secure and wants to travel. Yeah.
That is the truth. It's a big change.
Let's see, I have $2,000 per month and have medical. Where can I go? I'm assuming if you're referring to Medicare, that won't work outside the U.S. But I mean, there are a lot of countries that you can live as a single, especially on $2,000 a month or less.
Absolutely.
Several in Central and South America, Southeast Asia, Albania.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the other Balkan countries are like Bulgaria, Serbia.
Bulgaria, we've heard, is even cheaper than Albania.
Portugal, we found Portugal to be extremely affordable.
Yeah,
Spain.
If you stay outside of the really popular areas like Lisbon and Porto, you can definitely get away with spending less money there.
Southern Italy too is more affordable.
Yeah. So you have some good options.
We did 4 years worth of slow travel with our teenager.
Wow,
that's cool.
That is so awesome.
Let's see. A lot of talk about ads. Has not paused. Okay, that's good. Surfshark.
I don't know.
I don't know if there is a Surfshark ad. I don't know. They were one of our sponsors in a recent video.
That they were.
We have not. I looked into Rumble, but it's a different format for exposure, and we're YouTubers. It's too hard to start over. It's taken us 6 years to get here. I don't want to start over yet on another platform. It's too hard to maintain multiple platforms too.
That is something we have learned, because we have our website and that keeps us busy, and JP tries to keep up with Facebook and Instagram, and that one kind of ebbs and flows. So
yeah, Amelia, you don't look a day over 35.
Wow. Well, Jenna, you're freaking awesome. Thank you.
Yes, we have Japan. I wanted to go on this trip, but I don't know if we're actually going to make it on this time in Southeast Asia, because by the time we get there, it'll be winter, and I don't want to go to Japan in the winter.
We're like a broken record with the winter.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I would love to go to Japan too.
So, Mike, we have traveling mailbox. I think, have I already answered that for you? Travelingmailbox.com. That's
here, type it in there. So it's in the chat so they can see it. I know, I think maybe they didn't realize that was actually the name of the company.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Do you have any suggestions for traveling with children? Well, we don't have children, so we don't have firsthand experience with that.
People do it, though.
We see a lot of people traveling with children.
Yeah.
We have no idea how long they're traveling, but we just saw some people yesterday that had a couple of kids all speaking English, American English, so
Yeah.
or Canadian. Sometimes it's hard to tell unless they say oat or a boat.
My observation is that really they make sure to find places that are family friendly, meaning there's like activities that their kids can do. And then sometimes when I've talked to other people with kids, that they try to find things that they can go like and enroll their kids in to do so that they get some exposure to the local language with other children.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be, actually, I think that would be so cool.
Mr. Wright says, many of us are traveling vicariously through you and look forward to every new post. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you
We
guys
appreciate
so much.
that. Haven't had any ads. Okay. Enough with the ads. What about meeting in Malaysia? Well, we're going to be kind of busy with that event, but I don't know.
We don't know how long we're going to be there.
And we're going to do the medical stuff.
Yeah.
And hopefully I don't have anything serious.
Maybe we might be able to do that. Yeah, solo travel, if you're staying in a hotel too,
yeah,
it's expensive. Even Airbnb, that's the downside of traveling. When you have to do short-term rentals, it is still more expensive.
Yeah, if you do hostels, if you want to stay in hostels, that's really affordable.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sorry, I missed the same. Sorry, I'm with JP Winterstein. Let's see. When do you go back to Ecuador? Next year.
We don't have it ironed out yet, but it'll be next year.
I downloaded the Brave browser and it blocks YouTube ads. Oh, that's cool.
Thanks for sharing.
Japan is having quite as much.
I know.
How to keep a small dog safe and from street dogs. Pick them up. We see that happen actually quite a bit. People will pick up their small dog.
Yeah, we do see that.
We haven't seen a lot of street dogs though. Even in Albania, we saw there were street dogs in Albania, but they were all geriatric. So I think they had a massive spay and neuter campaign. I'm guessing about 6 to 8 years ago, because the dogs were all like laying around, very old, tranquilo. We only saw a couple of young dogs.
Yeah, they were really mellow and obviously very tame. The locals all took care of them.
Yeah, everybody fed them.
But yeah, picking up your dog, we have seen people do that in other countries. I know it's nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm. We haven't been to Panama yet. We will visit next year, but we've heard good things about Panama City. If you like hot and humid weather, it's warm there and humid. But I use Good Courage. I've switched. I used Adobe Premiere for years, and I just got so sick of it. Crashing and bloated, it being slow, and the monthly fee really added up. So I switched to Final Cut Pro for Mac. Final Cut Pro 10.
They're about to skip that.
Skip ads.
Bro, we've been on for over an hour.
I know.
Time's just flying.
I know. We'll be wrapping this up soon. But anyway, I use Final Cut Pro now. I actually really like it. If you're a Mac person, it doesn't work if you're not a Mac person. But there's a lot of stuff. There's DaVinci Resolve, and there's all kinds. I used Camtasia Studio for a while. I found that didn't do everything I wanted to do at the time, but that was like 5 years ago. Did we sell everything prior to moving to Ecuador? Also, did you sell everything prior to slow traveling? Yes. No. I mean,
not everything.
We took like 4 suitcases, 2 each, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, on 2 different trips.
Yeah.
And then when we moved to Ecuador, and then when we left Ecuador, we tried to sell everything and ended up storing a bunch of stuff at our friend's house in Cumbaya. So.
Yeah. So we still have some stuff, but not like we're not having everything we own in storage. We got rid of most of it, but we did that really in the beginning because we had to downsize from 2 households into 1 and then into a little 1-bedroom apartment before we were even close to being ready.
Like this to this to this. Yes. And before we left, even thought about before we had planned our leave.
Exactly.
And then we went to this.
I don't know if they saw that. You did that.
There you go. Basic. Hostels in Milan, Scotland, Ireland, no problems. That's cool.
Thanks for sharing that, Connie. That's good information.
We're going to go to Argentina next year.
So I don't know what the conversation is about dog backpacks, but I'm going to chime in here because remember we used to take Daisy hiking all the time, and actually my other little toy poodle Allie, who was an awesome hiker. But Daisy had her own doggy backpack and she loved it. And she was so proud when she got to wear her backpack. It was adorable.
I miss her. I know she had a prance on a normal day. And then with the backpack, it was more like this.
She was strutting her stuff.
I know. It was so cute. Her head was up high and her ears were up. She loved her backpack.
Yes.
Let's see. Overall, has the food been good in Europe? Have you guys ever gotten food poisoning in Europe or Latin America? the food has been fantastic in Europe, way better than the United States. Not as good as Ecuador.
No, although, boy, we just had like the best strawberries we've ever had.
Like childhood strawberries.
Yeah. No, I don't think we've ever gotten food poisoning.
I got it at one time in Olón. And I had Montezuma's Revenge years ago, like in 2008 or 9.
In Mexico?
No, 2006 in Mexico.
Yeah, I got really sick once in Mexico too, but that was like in the 90s on a vacation. Oh, it just bounced again.
I know, it just scrolls all the way to the bottom. Thanks, Dog Training Mexico, appreciate it. But I mean, we don't want you to watch the ads while we're on here.
I know that's what's so weird. That's why it's so weird.
If you want to watch it again afterwards, and the ads, I'm fine with those ads, but it's weird. Can we vote on where to send JP and Amelia? We've actually occasionally put out a vote for that.
But yeah, we could do that again.
So we do. We have just identified our 30 countries quest. We're going to be talking about that more in an upcoming video, I think, where we've already filmed videos in 10 countries, counting Ecuador, Colombia, and Mexico, and now France. So we're up to 10 countries that we've put, not including India.
Oh, yeah.
And Amsterdam. But I don't really count those because those were years ago before our focus was really on moving.
Right.
So now we've done videos about 10 different countries, about living in 10 different countries. And our goal is to hit 30 before we make a decision. And so we're going to be sharing 20 more countries with you guys over the next couple of years.
So we're probably going to check everything off your guys' list.
Eventually. But we make decisions largely based on airfare and lodging. So, and how little we can pay for both of those. That's kind of how we make our decisions.
Well, right. One of the reasons we came to France now is because we did not want to be here before the high season, and
we did want to be here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We wanted to be here before the high season, and of course the Olympics on top of that. So that's the kind of things that we think about. And we got cheap plane tickets.
British Isles. Stay tuned. See, Amelia, you look really good. What do you use to stay skinny and beautiful at your age?
I'm telling you guys, I've been doing, thank you, by the way. I've been doing these workouts. It's her, I don't know how to say her name. I think it's Eleni Fit. She's awesome. Look her up on YouTube.
She has a lot of walking, no jumping, all standing workouts that work great for a small space and for someone like me with a bad back that can't do a bunch of bending and floor work. So it works great for us.
It does.
She has Pilates workouts too.
And I sleep.
Well, we eat a plant-based diet.
We eat a plant-based diet.
I know that's controversial, but 8+ years.
It works for us.
What kind of camera do you use? Right now, where did that go? This keeps scrolling by. What kind of camera do you use? Right now, you guys aren't going to believe this. We've been filming all of our videos for the past 3 years with our iPhones.
Yep.
I know a lot of people are like, this camera is amazing. What do you have? An iPhone. But we're actually going to go buy me a real camera finally because I want to be able to do more photography and have more control over the types of pictures I take. And also we want to look a little bit more professional. So when we go to film things and we make appointments with people, we don't show up with just our iPhone because we've had some kind of like weird looks when we've done that in the past, especially real estate videos. We'd like to start doing some real estate videos again. And when we show up to do a real estate video with our iPhones, they kind of don't think we're very serious, even though the iPhone cameras are incredible. And also the mic, we've had issues with the mic with the iPhone, and the Rode mic I have doesn't work that well. So I want to get a new camera with a new microphone that's better for outdoor videography. Amelia, are you on Social Security yet?
I am not. I got like 10 more years.
Well, 7 before you could apply.
I
have 10. I had 10 years before we could apply. Somebody posted a comment on our YouTube video last week and said, wow, Amelia is really hot for a senior citizen. Like, oh my God, we're not senior citizens.
However, AARP starts sending you that stuff when you turn 50. So I guess we are. To the moon, AARP.
Have you had to deal with family emergencies back in the States? Had to get back quickly. Yes.
Yes, we did have to do that once. It was stressful, and I hope we don't have to do that again anytime soon. But that's always in the back of our mind, especially when we're planning on spending a long time in Southeast Asia. We're both a little nervous about that, but it is what it is.
So what's any place stand out for a U.S. senior citizen or U.S. citizen to retire affordably? I would say Portugal, Spain, or Albania right now. That's what stands out as far as affordable in Europe.
Yes.
I mean, if you want Latin America, there's a bunch. I mean, Panama, Ecuador, Colombia. It depends on your level of comfort traveling in the world. I mean,
yeah,
it's not the same everywhere. And yeah, we've spent 6 years in Ecuador, so we've been to Mexico a dozen times or more.
We went to Colombia.
And we went to Colombia. So we have a little bit higher threshold than some people for more rustic, gritty situations. But if you want polished, Europe is polished. Spain and Portugal.
Albania, like Granada was really affordable.
Granada was really affordable.
Yeah, as long as you stay out of the historic center.
Yeah. Albania is an Albanian commented on our video that said it's a bag of gems that's rapidly being polished. And I have to agree.
Excellent way to put it.
It is quickly becoming developed after decades of oppressive totalitarianism. They are really kicking butt, and it's showing. The country is really booming. JP is the luckiest man alive.
Aww,
I agree.
Thank you.
Amelia's 55. I'm 52. Actually, you're going to be 56 next month.
I know.
56. Do you recommend any specific places in Greece? I recommend Athens for like 5 days, no more. That's where we stayed. I was ready to leave after a week. We were there for a month. That was 3 weeks too long.
So there are some things I liked it more than JP did. But it wasn't our favorite place.
Yeah, we're going to go do more touring of Greece in the islands, which are much, much better.
Yeah, so we've heard from people that Crete is amazing. We just had some friends come back from Corfu, although they did say it was more expensive, but it's an island, so I would expect that. Athens is cool to go and see, but yeah, I wouldn't want to stay there long term. A month was too long for sure. But it is nice to have a tram. It's really nice. And it is walkable.
Does a gritty location mean bad internet? No.
Shockingly, no, it does not.
We've had really bad internet in most of our Europe travels. Portugal, Spain, Greece wasn't great. Albania was great.
Albania was good.
Montenegro was not good. Paris was the first place we stayed in Paris. We had 4 megabytes download and 1 megabytes.
Yeah.
I get corrected when I say it wrong. Anyway, 1 meg upload speed in Paris. We could not work for a week. We couldn't even both use the internet at the same time. We couldn't stream Netflix. And this is in Paris.
Yeah, we were shocked by that. So we didn't even think to ask. And they were doing some repair work on the line, but it was still not that fast to begin with. So once again, we didn't take our own advice, and we're not doing that anymore. But since then, we've had super fast internet. But Ecuador, the internet was amazing. Yeah, and Colombia, Mexico, every place else we've been, the internet has been great. And here where we are now in France, we got like 600 meg at the last place and 300 or 400 at the current place. Yeah. So yeah, it's been great here. But the other countries, it was bad. Albania was great too. I was shocked that Albania, we were getting like 100 meg everywhere we went in Albania. Right, we got to look up this Annecy. Canals of Annecy. I'll have to look that up. Yeah. Thanks. All right, we're going to wrap this up in a minute. So any final questions or comments? And also remember, our Live Abroad program is on sale, 50% off. So Dragonfly asked real quick, do the countries we went to charge you more as foreigners? I don't feel like it's foreigners. You just pay more for short-term housing, period. Yeah, we haven't felt like there's been one time I think I felt like we got gringoed, but then afterwards I realized we weren't, because we went to another store and it was the same price, and it was like labeled with the price tag, and it was the same price. I honestly was shocked it was that much. It was like a head of cabbage. Yeah. And it was like $3 or something. I'm like, that's expensive for a head of cabbage. It was like $5, but it was like €5. Yeah. And I'm like, that can't be right. Yeah. For whatever reason. But it was. But no, we haven't really felt like that. But overall, if you're in the tourist areas, you're just going to pay more, period. Yeah. What beach town would you recommend in Albania for retirees? We've heard great things about Vlora and Saranda, the area in the south.
But and there's one of our guest authors, Warren, has been in Saranda for a couple of months, at least 3 months, maybe 4 months.
So yeah, I think he spent 3 months.
I think he arrived in Albania in February and went to Vlora, and now was in Saranda last I talked to him.
Still there, yeah.
Anyway, he's written a couple articles on our website about his time in Saranda. If you want to go check that out, he's a great guy. He's 81 and he's slow traveling on $1,500 a month.
Yep, it is doable.
Yeah, so you can just go to our website.
Oh yeah, if you want to read about his thoughts on house sitting.
Million JP. Well, he also wrote about Saranda.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's written a couple of articles for us about his slow travels. So, all right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. My back's starting to really hurt from sitting in this stool with no back on it. So
this is great. Thanks so much. Boy, the time flew by.
Yeah, thank you guys. Much appreciated. It was great to catch up with you. We'll try to do these more often with our travels and the time change. And it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky and my negative association with Daisy. But I'm going to get over that. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you. We'll see you all next time. Ciao. Ciao. Au revoir. Au revoir.